deeper into spiritual psychology and when it comes to wealth creation, prosperity mindset, on and on and on. If you've been following me for a while, you already know what to expect. I shoot straight, we go deep, right? We provide clarity, right? So, welcome. And if you're new to the space, you're welcome. Let me know where you're joining from. Feel free to use the chat space to drop your comments, drop your name, drop your questions, drop your thoughts as well. And then we also have audio and video going. And if you would like to join that, just feel free to raise your hand, but also use the chat space if that's more comfortable for you. Okay, so this is a series I launched this year and I've been going really deeper. Okay, so in my school towing Academy, right? Over the past more than 2 years, I've been laying the foundation, teaching business, entrepreneurship, like hardcore technical business, right? What I've also found is that we have to go deeper. So we do a lot of spiritual psychology, energy management, using faith-based principles, right? Personal development, mindset, my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur, I teach on it. We go deeper because this is about the 360 development of a successful person because your mind will create your reality. Okay? Today, I'm also going a little bit deeper. Willpower, right? Unleashing your willpower. Everybody has power. But not everybody manages it. There's a lot of mismanagement. Okay? There's a lot of mismanagement of power, primarily due to ignorance. Everybody has power. You can use it to create, you can use it to destroy yourself and others, and you can waste it and give it to somebody else. If you don't know what to do with your own willpower, you don't have clarity, trust me, the world needs power. The world runs on human energy. There's a lot of work to be done. When work has to be done, energy is your power, your ability to do work. Okay, so running a company, listen, we need energy. That's why you hire employees. The more work that has to be done, the more people you would need. The more technical things, hey, hi, all of these things, right? Machine, equipment, AI, is so that people can do work. Whenever work is required, you need people, you need machines, you need tools, things that can output power, output energy. Okay? Every work that has to be done, somebody has to do the work, or a machine has to, or we have to put a machine to do the work. That's why you're hired. That's what you're paid for. In fact, let me just go a little bit sideways. Then I'll pull myself back. Oftentimes, people in the workplace say they are being paid for time. You're not being paid for time. What you are being paid for is your energy displacement, the force and the impact that you can deliver in an hour, measured by an hour. That's why not everyone gets paid per hour with the same rate, because not everybody has the same level of energy displacement. The influence, the impact of you as a mass force, right, in your company, that's the value you're bringing. What you can accomplish within measurable time, that force, that power, that influence, your ability and the value of the work you can displace, you can present within an hour is what you're being valued and paid for. It's not time, because time is an equal denominator. You don't have more time in a day than anybody else. It's 24 hours. You cannot say, right? So your management of time, your ability, the force and energy and clarity, what you can accomplish in a day, what you can accomplish for your employer, what you can accomplish for your clients and customers, what you can do for them, the value of that work is what you are rewarded by. And so people that can deliver greater value within an hour will earn more. Okay? People who can displace, can drive greater impact, they will earn more. It's the same hour, but somebody will earn 50, somebody 250, 2,000, right? Even somebody will give a speech and will earn $500,000. What's that? It's not the time. Time is the same. 1 hour. Is you, your magnitude, your force, your energy. your ability to displace and create impact in the world. Right? The level of impact, influence, your reach, your value, that's what people reward. That's what we reward. That's what the world rewards. Your transformative power, right? Conversion of energy. Whatever energy you bring to your work and the effects it can deliver for your employer, they measure it, they assess it, and they say, let's pay this person the salary. People who do this type of work deserve this much. And people who do another level of work, you earn millions of dollars. The same is true. Displacement, energy displacement, impact. So don't get it mixed up. It's not time people are paying you for. It's not just time. Time is a measurement, but what is being measured in time is the value of your energy displacement. When you bring yourself to a task, when you bring your force, when you show up, what gets done? What gets accomplished? When you speak, who listens? The influence you have on world economies, who listens to you? And when they do what you tell them to do, does it move the dial? How much further? Listen, that's what this is about. This is the game changer. And so those who understand that, right, they apply their force in the direction of their goals, right? And so when you don't have any power, when you feel tired, you're not bringing yourself, right? You have no energy. You're not bringing any impact. They tell you to do work, you're like, In fact, for your own good, you can't even do work for yourself. Is it somebody else you do work for? You're complaining. You're not showing up every day for your own future. The first work that matters is even building your future, building the life you want. Right? If you cannot apply your own willpower to do what needs to be done in your own life, for your own future, is it somebody else? Right? Is this too much? Many people are not used to this, but welcome. I'm just laying the foundation. I've not even got, I'll bring myself back now. Let me bring myself back to centering the topic I want to share today. So I see Yasmin, I see Dave, Louise, Cellular. Okay, guys, apologies if I didn't say your name correctly, but welcome everyone. And if you're team replay as well, welcome. Feel free to drop a comment. I usually come back to like and respond if there's a question left behind there. Okay. Hey, Jasmine, thanks for the heart shape. I appreciate that. So let me share. There are two extremes I've seen with willpower. Excuse me. One side, people who use none. You have power, but you don't unleash it. And the other extreme, because the center is where the sweet spot is, where there's major impact. But let me give you the two extremes you don't want to be. One, people who have internal power, but they've not displaced it. They don't have willpower. I'll tell you why. I'll talk a little about that. And then on the other side, those who have willpower, they've unleashed their willpower, but they are ignorant. That is where destruction lives in. It's easier to destroy than to create. People who are ignorant, foolish, you know all those things. Listen, they will destroy in an heartbeat. They are so, like, you know what? Once I paint this picture, this is where narcissistic people live in. Craziness plus willpower destroys the world. Okay? Yes, there's energy required to create destruction. Nuclear weapon, all these things that destroys the world. Some people are busy engineering destruction. Wickedness and ignorance lives on one extreme, plus willpower. Bad people do terrible things. Listen, they will go, nothing can stop them. War, people who fight wars, who blast everybody else, they live in that. They have serious willpower. Do you know how much willpower it takes for people to destroy? Listen, ignorance plus wickedness plus willpower is the toxicity of the world. Like, this is what creates all the problems in the world. That side, you don't want to be there. Narcissism, craziness, you know, the ignorant one, all the people who talk with so much violence, you know what I'm talking about. You can see the steam, right? The force, the mobilization. Yes, on this extreme, people can mobilize themselves to use willpower to topple things, to destroy things. That is an extreme. You get it. You get my point. Let me pack that one there. On the other side, the extreme is where people don't do anything. There is lack of clarity, lack of confusion, low energy, no clarity, no vision, no mission, no hope, right? No reason for showing up to do anything. There's no motivation, there's no inspiration, nothing challenges them. Like, they've packed their car, right? They've arrived. Like they're not going anywhere. Like, low energy. When those people come into your presence, you ask them, what do you want? I don't know. What are you doing? Nothing. Hello. You pick up a phone. Oh, hello, how are you? What are you up to? Nothing. You see, that voice. What did you do yesterday? I'm just chilling. What are you doing this year? We'll see what the year has. Nothing. It is what it is. Just another year. What's new? Nothing is new, right? Nothing. What I that voice. You know it's you know what I'm talking about. Wow, like nothing. Where are you going? Nowhere. What do you want? They don't know. Are you ready? It's that. Those are the two extremes. Where we need to be is in the middle, where you're applying wisdom to run your life. Okay? Wisdom, knowledge and wisdom. You're not ignorant, you're not foolish, you're not wicked, you're not crazy, you're not erratically making assumptions, making everybody your enemy. The world is your enemy. Trump is your enemy. Biden is your enemy. Not everybody's your enemy, right? You know that language, because the whole world is being programmed to be here or there, to be at the extremes. Okay? The world is being mobilized to make enemies of everybody, and so that you can bring your energy to destroy your enemy, or you are being programmed to lose hope and not take any action, to give up on life. Those are the two things that is everywhere. You either hear a message that makes you lose hope, or you hear a message that really gets you angry and riled up, ready to do bad things. Because those two extremes, most people live in those two extremes. Those who want you to vote, they won't tell you to vote for progress. They will tell you to vote against your enemy. It's easier to mobilize people against people than for them to be constructively mobilized. Realize that all those two things for this year, because this is election year, right? You're going to hear it, the division, right? Where we need to be is where we are pursuing revelation, right? So that how we use our energy, our power, we are constructive. Okay? That you are intelligently applying yourself to create a reality that is pleasing to you and other people. This is where work is. Deliberate application of your force to create a reality that is pleasant. This is the real assignment. Creativity, productivity, progress, it lives in that space. Where you wake up, where you learn, where you work, where you pursue success and progress. It's in the middle. Where you're an independent thinker, people don't think for you. You can bring your energy, right, towards a mission, towards a purpose. You can unleash yourself in the direction of your choosing for creativity, for creative. right? You're a creative force. You can do work that makes people happy, makes you. This is what gives fulfillment. Listen, people who destroy other people, they are not fulfilled. They will just look for the second person to destroy. Right? Because they don't give up. Because what they are looking for, they can't find on that extreme. They'll just look for the next thing to consume and destroy. Narcissists, the next relationship to mess up, the next person to mess up. Because what they are looking for, what the void they are trying to fill, fulfillment doesn't live in that zone. Fulfillment lives in positivity. Right? Unleashing your willpower to pursue what you want, your desires, your goals, your mission in life, to live a purposeful life. Listen, it takes a lot of wisdom to live in that space. It's easier to do nothing or to be destructive. That's the easiest. Listen, you can wake up right now and go and do crazy things. But for you to plan, for you to be focused, for you to seek direction, right? For you to inquire, for you to ask questions, for you to be led and lead yourself right, it's an intention, it deliberates, it's very, very energy intensive. Right? Because you have to say no to many things and be careful what you say yes to, because you are focused, because you have a clear mission, right? You know what you want, you know where you want to apply your energy, you know what you want to create for yourself and other people, you know the results you want to deliver for yourself and others. You are here to create something. Those who are creative, those who spend their energy and their will to create, they don't have time for anything else. Because it's a full-time job. This middle is your full-time job. And so when people stray away from this, they go into hopelessness, or they go into there are benign versions of narcissism where you just hear these voices of, oh, it's not, because one of the things I say is that some people, you hear them and you wonder, the only thing they don't have is actual power. Because if they had their finger on the button that can explode, right? That can cause an explosion, they are no better than Putin. I'm telling you. So these things, it's like it could start small and look like nothing, and then the tension grows, the pressure builds, the frustration that people feel, it amplifies, right? That's why you have to guide yourself and also lead people. When people are not being led, when there's frustration, for example, in a country, maybe economic tension, political tension, young people, if they don't have the right leadership, their power influence can be hijacked for destruction. But it will sound a little bit, it sounds like frustration. You see, it starts sounding like frustration, complaining. Then if that is fed, if somebody feeds that energy with toxicity, it will grow and it can explode. That's why leadership is required during the seasons like this. The right leadership that decompresses, that removes the tension, removes frustration, and then guides people, right, to use their willpower towards creativity. This is what grows economies, right? Production. Listen, if you are producing, you will use all your energy during the day. At night, listen, you eat food and you'll be like, I'm done. You sleep well. People who work hard sleep well at night. When you displace energy, right, and you create impact, you will be so busy at night. You're like, give me food, or you make food, and you're like, you're done. The next day you start all over again. Listen, when humans are not busy doing what I just shared, nations crumble. the overall impact is that nations topple. They right? This is the end of civilization, right? When more people tilt towards narcissism or hopelessness, and there are not enough people in the middle that have hope, that believe in the future, that believe in tomorrow, and they are ready to bring their time, energy, right? In time, with their energy, with their resources, they invest in today because they are creating a better tomorrow. When people stop investing in today, when people stop believing in tomorrow, when people start procrastinating, losing hope, losing energy, not using their willpower to move the nation forward, it's you see economies start, declining. In fact, one interesting thing that statisticians and economists also measure is the electrical usage, how much electricity is used in a nation. It correlates to the GDP growth. It's quite interesting is that when production is high, people are busy creating industries, creating products and services, serving one another, busy doing work, nations grow. When people are busy, nothing, and then destroying, nations crumble. Okay, what does this mean to you and I? I'm good. Let me open it first to reactions, response. Is this how relevant is this to you? Let's start there, and then I'll take the second half of this. I'm bringing more people up. I see more people have joined. I'm squinting because I'm not wearing my glasses, but anyway, thank you guys. Oluefikayomi, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Hi, Dave. How are you today? Welcome to the stage on Clubhouse. What are your thoughts? Oh, did we just lose you there? Okay, let's see. Jasmine says currently working. You cannot on my. That's okay. Okay, good. But you can type. I love. You can type your questions, type your comments. If anything I said resonates with you, let me know as well. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you guys. So, what does this? Hi, Dave. Are you back? Are you able to unmute and try to speak? Let's try that. Try to speak. I'm not hearing you, but I think you're trying to say something. Try it again. I hope it's not just me. Hi, Dave. I saw you came up to share. I don't know what's going on with the app. Do you want to try one more time? And then I'll keep talking, or you can step out and then come back in and make sure it's not the app. Because I really want to hear what you have to say. Okay? Okay, I'll keep going, Dave. Feel free to type as well. Okay, good. And welcome those who just joined. Okay, I see a comment. Says that means we can expect exponential growth, Mali, with nuclear plants coming. Well, that's a stretch. You listen, that's a jump to conclusion. They are not correlated. Okay, they're not linear. What you're saying is not linear, and these are the things I watch people to be careful to not jump to conclusions. Okay, it takes so much more to grow than that. It might be an indicator for you, but trust me, it takes so much more than just that. When it comes to human productivity, human creativity, what I have found, and let me just comment so that people understand where I'm coming from. The root, usually, many people in a nation put all their hope on few people. The ruling class in political spaces, right? They're usually a handful of people, thousands of people. And then if your nation, depending on the size, like US, you right, millions of people. One of the things I always challenge people to realize is that there's top-down growth. People expecting like, okay, leadership, the right leadership would unlock economic growth by creating an enabling environment. Yes, but also there has to be bottom-up economic growth. In fact, if governments do everything they can do, and the grassroots do not show up to leverage the policies, to create industries, to hire people, to move the nation forward, nothing happens. So it's this collaboration, right? Public-private engagement that actually drives economic development. And oftentimes, most of the people that just say, oh, the government is this, that complain, oh, it's the government. When you ask them, what are you contributing, right, to that economy, right? Looking at your own energy contribution, your own productivity, right? Challenge yourself to contribute more and not just talk about what other people are not doing. It's easy. It's always easy. In fact, the people who do nothing talk the most. That's one thing I've realized. Because hopelessness has a voice. It sounds like the reason I'm in this condition is because the government is bad. The reason I'm not doing anything, the reason I'm not applying myself, the reason I'm not using my willpower to push forward is because of this. You know why? Willpower is your force to crumble every opposition. Willpower is what successful people use to destroy everything in their path, removing barriers to success. You need willpower to do it. But when you encounter opposition and you come up with a story and you sit there, right, until you grow bigger than your opposition, you cannot move forward, right? So successful people, it's not that they're not seeing the same thing you're seeing or they're not experiencing similar, is that they don't make a big deal around what they believe is not working. Instead, they focus their entire energy figuring out how to de-risk, remove barriers to their success. They might take a year, they might take 2 years, but trust me, once they know what they want, it's just a matter of time. Everything in their way will disappear. They will make sure that thing disappears. They will apply knowledge, they will apply strategy, they will apply force against opposition. And so every time I hear somebody saying, well, like just complaining, this is that, is because there's no willpower. You do not have the power to overcome the narrative, the story you're telling. Because in that same country, people who have the real power, they're achieving success with or without those same constraints. So it's up to you. What do you want? And are you equipping yourself, empowering yourself enough to gain strength so that nothing stands in the way of what you want? But if you tell me that something is standing in your way, it's because you are not bigger than that something. It's because you've not empowered yourself with the knowledge, the relationship, the resources, right? The capacity to overcome. Only overcomers, right, cross to the other side of, right, and achieve success. Why am I saying this? Because when I coach people, trust me, the first battle you have to fight is in your own mind. The stories you're telling yourself, what you believe. Because whatever you believe is stopping you, will stop you. So there's nothing anybody can do. And so other people that do not believe what you believe, they're living a different life than you. They're living a different life than you. So mindset is also part of this journey. Having the right mindset, adopting the right mindset. Okay? Because everybody is powerful, like I shared. Everybody has energy. Remember, I talked about the spiritual side of you. Your mind is a force. Your emotion is a force. Energy in motion. Your physically, you're a force. Spiritually, you're a force. But if you do not lead yourself, if you do not challenge, if you do not channel, let me say channel, if you do not direct that power within you, if you are not intentional how you apply your force, your words carry power, your thoughts carry power, your actions carry power. So if you take the wrong action, you say the wrong things, and you're thinking of the wrong things, that's the problem. Because whenever someone speaks, you're speaking from your thoughts. And so anybody that says this government is this, it's because there's abundance of thoughts that they have that truly, 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 they've erected certain figures, right, in their mind as the reason for lack of progress. That's where you have to start from. Dave, you're back. Do you want to try again? Let's try again. Unmute and let's see if we can hear your thoughts and your words here.
Yeah, can you hear me, ma?
Okay, now, yes. Good. Go ahead, please. Thank you for being here.
I just want to say, it's happy to be here, coming here to listen to words of motivation, what you were saying. Like the last topic you talked about my knowledge, which is helpful. I've been reading a lot of books and it has been helping me in terms of talking to quality people, listening to quality people to make an impact to ourselves. I saw a post you posted on LinkedIn, which I commented. I missed your. Actually, I guess yesterday you talked about the topic. Like I missed it, so I said I was so sad.
Oh, the replay. You can access the replay on YouTube, so there should be a replay. The public.
No, there's one I saw on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Today.
Okay, good.
Okay, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, definitely follow my YouTube, because my classes, my courses, my lessons, textbooks and all of, they are in my school. But when I host sessions like this publicly, I always leave a replay out on YouTube as well. So if you search for my name, first name, last name on YouTube, there's over 900 resources videos on YouTube. So I'm not new. I've been out here pushing, resources for wealth creation for years now. And then my school is where you actually access PowerPoints, workbooks, classes. That's where I teach, right? Like right now, I'm not holding, you're not seeing me draw anything, you're not seeing any PowerPoint. We're just having a conversation that is deep and transformational. But when I'm teaching like branding, marketing, sales, pricing, strategy, like business development strategy for those who want to learn how to grow their business, establish it, scale it, and make money, right? Be successful, build wealth through business development. I do that at towingumesiri.academy. We have over 40 like courses, programs, workbooks, like branding, if you want to learn how to brand, everything you need, A to Z of business development, my book, marketing, like all kinds of things. There are over 300 resources, like classes, courses, business training in my school. And then publicly, I do a whole lot of stuff. I have my TV show, I have these sessions that I use to inspire people around the world, just to keep encouraging people to all be more progressive in their life. So yeah, my YouTube has 900 plus free videos that you can access. And then for those who want to invest and learn and develop the skills under my classes and coaching, then you invest and join my school. And then we also have export development classes. So I also teach international trade, the advanced side of business, cross-border transaction, market entry strategies. So if you want to take your business international, right? So from idea, right, to planning, to building, to growing, to scaling your business. And if you want to scale internationally as well, I teach that as well, right? So I know so if you're new, I just gave you a lay of the land. Make sense?
Yeah, trust me, I'll subscribe now. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'll subscribe. Yeah.
Awesome.
I just want to say thank you for sharing this information.
Oh, and thank you for asking. Did you have any particular questions for what I've shared so far, or any comments or any thoughts? I love to know like how people are processing some of the things I teach and share. Does it challenge you, or what does it do? Feel free to share.
It has to challenge me this kind of way that whatever I'm doing, just like I said last I talked about someone using me, and I already know what I'm already doing. Like I know what I want, so I'm working towards achieving them. So it tallies to what you've been talking about.
Yes.
So definitely.
Yes.
It's working out.
Yes. I love this because the most important thing is to know what you want. Trust me, it sounds easy. It sounds so simple, but it's very, very difficult. Because before people can say, this is what I want, most people have already countered themselves. They've told themselves they cannot have what they want. And this is what kills willpower. Because if within you, you've countered yourself, you've opposed yourself. There was a lesson I shared earlier in the week. I said there are two sides of you. Which one is running the show? There's a side that if you listen to it, it will hold you ransom, it will cage you, it will limit you, it will steal your power and energy. The stories, the programming, all the reasons why you've not unleashed your willpower is because of the thoughts in your mind. Start there. Tune that volume, bring it down. Okay? Because before you can use willpower is the force that gets you what you want. It's mobilizing yourself to go get what you want. But if stage one, you've not even activated desire, you're not hungry for more. Because out of your hunger, that is supposed to rise something in you. You have to talk to yourself. I want something new. You and you must talk first. You must first have a meeting. You must have a meeting. You must have a meeting with your soul. You must have a discussion with yourself. You have to quiet yourself, to talk to yourself that what you want is important to you. And that you will not let anything rob you of that. If you don't have that conversation, all these things I'm saying, it doesn't work for you. And when people have not activated desire, you know what usually happens? Because there's no vacuum. You give permission that other people's desire will override your own will. Okay. Your willpower can be overridden. Other people can pressure you with their own desires and you become their subject. Do you understand that? If you don't know how to activate your own willpower, you don't have clarity, you become a subject of institutions, of other people, of systems. And so they will tell you who to be, what to do, how to spend your time, energy, and resources. And suddenly, you're not thinking anymore. You just be, following the world pattern. Like when the world says turn right, you say, oh, turn right. The news says turn left. They say vote this way, you vote. Vote that way, you vote. Come today, you come. Go, right? You are not asking any questions anymore. You are easy. People who don't have willpower, they are easy targets for domination, for control, right? To be used and abused. Very, very easy. You make it very, very easy for people to use your energy for their own good. Okay, so it's either you are benefiting from your energy, you're using your energy to do what you want and achieve what you want. Whatever God sent you here to do, you're focused on that, you're doing it, you're living life on your own terms. If you don't do that, you leave a vacuum. The same 24 hours, the same energy, the same resources, you will use it to benefit everybody else. You will be meeting the needs of other people. Other people will be happy. Everybody's happy to take your power, to take your energy. They'll suck you. You know why? Because those who know what they want, they need energy. Those who have work to do, you don't have work to do for yourself. Those who have work to do will negotiate to have you bring your power to them. Is what runs the world, is what runs election, is what runs social media, is what runs economies. What I'm telling you, the very few people who have willpower will rise to the top and they will tell us what they want, where the world is going, and everybody follows them. Remember, I said there are two extremes. Okay? But the middle, the healthy one is to acquire wisdom and develop the knowledge and skills that will allow you to use your own energy as a driving force in pursuit of what you want. That's the starting point of success. Willpower is the force that breaks down barriers. And in order for you to have it, when confused minds do not have force. This is the power of knowledge. Right? Earlier, I also shared in another session, I shared that spiritual people, right? They are knowledge seekers. It's because as a spiritual force, you have energy. God has given you life, right? And free will to choose and decide. But trust me, there are systems in the world ready to rob you of your free will. Okay? The way you use that energy God has given you in the right way is to seek clarity, seek knowledge, seek wisdom. Ask God, what do I do with this energy? What do I do today? And so when people don't seek clarity, they waste. It's either you are wasting time on one side or you are abusing, you use that same right energy to destroy, to backbite, to gossip, to do all these things that people don't like. Listen, if you be busy enough, you don't have time for destructive behavior. Be too busy, right, to listen to gossip, to be chatting anyhow, to be typing anything. Be asking yourself, right, anytime you're saying, before you say something, before you do something, before you think something, ask yourself, is this in my favor? Is this in my favor? This behavior, is it in my favor? Or who is benefiting from this behavior? Who has programmed you to be behaving like this or thinking like this? Who is reaping benefits from you being confused? Who? You're not, it means you are not a competition in the economic space. When you're not busy creating a business, you're not busy studying, you're not busy doing, creative things that moves you and your family or your business or something forward. Busy people don't have time for destructive behavior. Trust me, because there's too much work to be done. So that's why if I'm going to show up this way, you realize that 30 minutes, 1 hour, as long as I stay here, every minute counts. Every minute counts. I don't want to waste my time. I'm not here to waste yours. If you read my every sentence, everything I say, I want it to be purposeful. I don't want to say anything just because I just want to occupy time. You know, all those content people will just put out there. 30 minutes later, you learned nothing. You are more confused. I'm not that person. If you spend 5 minutes, in 5 minutes, you must, at least something must unlock, because I'm intentional. If I'm going to do this, I want to bring my force, I'll bring my energy. If I'm going to invest my energy in a session like this, and listen, I'm going to drive home impact. Listeners will be impacted. You will think differently, right? You will challenge. Listen, I will challenge you. Otherwise, go and listen to people who won't challenge you. People who do not lead you to transformation. People who do not tell you to think about your future. They don't tell you to invest in your future. They don't tell you to build legacy for your children or your grandchildren. Go and listen to those people. They are taking you nowhere. You've been listening to them for 5 years. Nothing much has changed. If that's what you want, if you don't want change, go and listen to the old people that will not challenge you. But if you've been praying, and if this is your year of elevation, of ascension, of next level transformation, then we have to think differently, right? So unleashing your willpower, trust me, you have to take your power back from any opposing force, any opposing thoughts, any opposing emotions, right? Anything that's been stealing you, dividing you, making you confused. You are everywhere but nowhere. You try this, they tell you it's this, you go there. How many cooks needs to be in the kitchen to cook a delicious food? You are listening to diverse voices, 100 follow, you are following thousands of people. Today they tell you here, they are dividing you up. It's the reason you are confused. Because willpower needs clarity to be unleashed. Confusion, right, closes up your energy. Let's say um let's say your energy, your potential is potential energy, kinetic energy potential. Let's say as a human, let's say it's in a container. You are a container. Let's say you pack you have energy inside you. It's packed. You see, what opens it up is knowledge. And you have to be careful. This is where management. Because anybody that doesn't manage themselves, lead themselves, self-regulate, emotion, energy in motion, that's where they easily, if you just open yourself, you talk anyhow, you do anything, you think anyhow, you've not regulated, right? There's no gate, there's no filter in terms of the messages you allow into your mind. There's no filter into what you say. There's no filter into what you do. Listen, you are tilting towards the side of narcissism and destruction. Lack of wisdom, right, creates erratic behavior. People who talk anyhow, think anyhow, act anyhow, because there are no consequences. They believe there are no consequences to their behavior. The middle, creative power, is being deliberate, being careful, being sensitive, right? Being clear, taking each step with intentionality. That requires so much focus and management, self-management, self-discipline. You cannot just be doing anything, showing up anywhere, saying anything, here. End of the day, you are tired. You've used up energy, but you've not made any progress. Right? Many people, they do so much. A year just went by. They did a lot last year. But if you ask them, what did you create? What impact did you drive? What new thing existed because you showed up? You realize they have nothing to show for that energy exertion. So yes, people do exert energy, but they don't manage that energy. And so they don't create. Creativity requires energy management, right? It's like if you want to build a house. If you don't plan the house, you don't have a picture, and you just say, I'm going to build a house. And you just start stacking bricks and you stand back. It's nonsense. You don't create anything of beauty or of relevance. Somebody will come and bulldoze it because it's an eyesore. Right? You want to, just because you say, I want to build a house, and you start building, and you just, brick, and you just start laying anything, anyhow. People do this in business, in entrepreneurship. They register a company, no planning, no skill, no knowledge, none of those things, and they say they are building a business. 5 years later, what did you build? We can't see anything. We can't see anything because it's chaotic. It's not constructive. It's destructive. You use time, you were everywhere but nowhere. I won't talk too much about that because that's why I always encourage people, right? Take my classes, run through my 10-week accelerator, because it will equip you with the knowledge to be intentional in how you build your business. You build it for legacy, for impact, for scale, for growth. There is a way to build a business that would last. That is an asset, right? That is an asset. Your brand, that is an asset. Your system, that is an asset. And when people are not doing any of that with wisdom, no clarity, no skill, trust me, they'll still say, I'm building a business, but ask them, show me what you've built. You will see like crazy, like it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. There's no head, no tail. So that's why knowledge allows us to be intentional, to be deliberate, to have clear visions that will mobilize our energy, and it directs you. And so when you know what you want, in fact, intentional people will have a picture of what they are doing, and then they mobilize themselves to start doing it. And so when you don't have vision, you don't have clarity, you don't really have a picture of where you're going, what you want this year, where you want to be, you have energy and you will deplete yourself. The energy that you ought to be using to build what you want, trust me, you will use it. Some people say, oh, I'm seeking knowledge. 5 years later, you've been consuming content instead of constructing your future. These things, sad to watch. Because I'm a teacher, right? I'm an educator. I teach in business schools and I have my own business schools, right? I train government and business stakeholders. So part of why I host this thing is just to enlighten, challenge people that there are better ways of pursuing life. You have energy, you have resources. Manage them well. Manage your days well. Manage your moments well. Manage your energy resources well. Start there. It's a discipline for life. It's a discipline for life. Let me wrap this up. Thank you, everyone. Any parting words, Dave? Let me see if I missed anything. Let me just wrap this up. I see Sandy. Yes, go ahead, Dave.
You just said it's just like you are adding more fire to what we've been doing. It's not left for anyone who is trying to build up to try to create something meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And and I have a lot of empathy. The reason I have empathy is because there are cultural dynamics that actually robs people of their willpower. That's why I designed a lot of mindset programs when people enrolled in my school. I remember one of them, the very first week in my school as a student, the game plan 12 strategies for winning in life and business. It challenges a lot of cultural barriers. The reason is because most people, because I when I coach people, you can see many of these things could be rooted in childhood upbringing. When willpower was broken, every child has a will. Like if you try collecting something from a 2-year-old, a 2-year-old has ice cream, something delicious, something that the 2-year-old is enjoying. They are enjoying their life. And you attempt to take it from them. The child will exact his will. It will resist you. You see, a 2-year-old will resist. How dare you take my desire from me? What's happening is over years, if you are beaten into submission, they break you. System breaks you that even the same will that a 2-year-old will have, a 40-year-old may not be able to exert it again against life. When you are broken and broken and broken and broken, you try this, they break you. You try that, they break you. You try another, break. Over time, people give up. People don't arrive in hopelessness just like that overnight. It's a series of discouragements. You went to this person, I want to start a business, they break you. They didn't encourage you. There's encouragement, there's discouragement. Encouragement will give you willpower. You believe I can do. So you do. Discouragement breaks you down. You can't even summon up energy within yourself to pursue purpose anymore. So I have a lot of empathy because the source and the root of this thing is deep. That's why I say inner work. You do that inner work. And so when people don't want to confront these things, God will be giving you brilliant ideas that could build you multi-million-dollar business. But trust me, you have to nurture that idea within yourself first with your willpower. Willpower is the only way you are going to go forward and crush every opposition. Otherwise, after listening to this, something comes up tomorrow, you say, oh, you give up. Without willpower, you give up. There's many reasons to give up on this journey. Willpower is, I ain't giving up. Yeah. That's why it's good to give yourself big assignments. Go and do impossible things. It will build your muscle. Because the moment you achieve something, you build your confidence. And then you go after more, right? You go after more, you go after more, you go after more, you go after more. But if you stop, because you were discouraged, nobody, listen, who will come and encourage you? If you remove yourself from the race of life, You made that decision. But again, I apply empathy because these things are very delicate. There are a lot of cultural dynamics. That's why if you're a parent, be careful not to break your children's willpower. Be careful not to dominate them. Be careful not to subdue them because it's actually easier to rule and dominate people who don't have willpower. Parents who wants to who wants weak children. You don't want your children to challenge you. You don't want them to ask you questions. You don't want them to call you out. You just want them to do whatever you want them to do. That's the most dangerous thing the dangerous legacy you can leave to your child. Because the same thing you did to that child, the world will do it to that child. If your child cannot question you, they cannot question their boss. If your child cannot tell you their thoughts, they will not tell their boss their thoughts. If your child cannot correct you, they cannot correct the systems. So it starts there. I know it. That's where you have to start from. Who did that? Who did it to you? Right? Because there are some cultures, listen, if they tell you to come, you come. They tell you to go, you go. They tell you to sit down, you sit down. So they are erected in your mind authority figures that you are afraid of. No matter what age you are, whether 50, 60, these things still happen. I had a client once, she's 50. She had been battling things from I don't even know, maybe 5-year-old. At 50, she shed a tear. That's what broke that thing on her life. She was like, my goodness, revelation will break these things. Because if you are conditioned at 5, at 10, at 15, whatever, to always do what people tell you to do without questioning them, without thinking for yourself, without overriding them, when God says go and do this thing, those programming will come back. Those ghosts, they'll come back and haunt people. So this is deep. So when I do one-on-one deep coaching with people, you start seeing these things crawl out of the shadows. Many of the things people are facing today that they will say, oh, no energy, no this, no that, right? Dreams undiscovered, right? People living beneath their potential, subject of system, you can't challenge your boss. You can't tell him what you're thinking. You cannot tell him the truth. You are in relationship with narcissists. You are dominate. Listen, I prefer to say these things privately, but sometimes maybe I'll just drop these things. I'll leave it out there for somebody to think about. Cameron says, this sister, oh, she's providing very high value info. Stay strong, keep imparting wisdom. We need more sisters like you. I pray you receive the message with love, right? Because it's being shared with love, right? If I know something that can rescue somebody, this is what this is about, because I've seen too much of it. It's a pattern. It's not one person, it's not two people, it's not three people. It's a culture, it's a generation. In fact, what I say is we have a generation of unmentored people. Mentorship that will give you encouragement, enlightenment, support to help you unleash the greatness within you. Listen, greatness must be nurtured. Guys, greatness must be nurtured, must be invested in, must be spoken to. Life must be given to the greatness in us. Some may not have it externally, but I'm also giving you the tools that will help you nurture yourself. So if you find yourself that you're in a space where other people are not investing in you, at least you're at a time where you then parent yourself, lead yourself, mentor yourself by investing in your own future, by investing in programs that will give you motivation, inspiration, mentorship, challenge. All the things you've been robbed of or denied of. Listen, you can pay for coaches, you can pay for advice, you can pay for therapy. You cannot just sit down and say, oh, all these things did damage to me, so that's why I'm on this side hopeless. Part of waking up, awakening yourself, is to use your money, the same money you would have used to buy a shoe or a handbag. Use that money to go and solve these things. Get therapy, get coaching, get support, buy books. All the solutions to your problem are in books, programs, courses today. Don't live in denial. Find solutions. Deny, don't just buy shoes and bag. There is a season for buying shoes and handbag. They will come. When you are wealthy, you are unlimited, you are successful, you can buy everything you want to buy. Nobody will stop you. But there is a time for sowing seed so that for the harvest season. So that you can buy anything you want to buy. You can buy a yacht, buy island, buy everything when you do this work. Right? And a farmer, instead of eating all the seed, will plant and sow more for future harvest. The biggest harvest we want is you. Get the support you need, everything you want. Everything you need to unleash greatness in you is seriously available. That's why we say, right, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When you are ready to do the work, look around you, you will start seeing the help you need. But when you are not ready, you won't see anything. You'll still be complaining, oh, nobody is supporting me. Everywhere I go, nobody's. Look at the power of the internet. Look around you. Everything you need is here. But you have to be ready and activated. You have to unleash your own willpower. Do you want it? Are you ready to mobilize yourself towards it? Are you ready to do the work towards it? Are you ready to challenge yourself, inspire yourself, educate yourself, transform yourself, change? If the answer is yes, there are people ready to help you do that. And if the answer is no, then don't complain anymore. You are the problem. You are your own problem. Okay? Everything comes back to us. I think there's a comment here. Let's see. Changing our perspective on life as an experience can help fight that feeling of being broken. As we experience and let go onto the next experience. Oh, when they say broken spirit, this thing is true. People have suffered in the hands of narcissists. There are cultures who promote and elevate narcissism, and they hand young people to them, right? Because everybody needs to be nurtured. Every mind needs to be nurtured to greatness. See, even Jesus, when he was born, you know what God said? Joseph, wake up. Somebody is coming after this. Go and hide. Jesus, his parents were given the wisdom to cover him, to protect him from narcissists. Because there's a foolish behavior where you start exposing yourself to people ready to destroy you. Foolishness. I call it what it is. I'm a writer, I'm an author, I use words. I pick the right words and I throw it. So if you have a problem, go and look at the definition of foolishness. When I see foolishness, I will label it. I won't give it. I'm not going to, sometimes what people want to do is they want to module it and make it digestible. No, my job is not to make it digestible. My job is to deliver surgical, the scalpel that cuts you to remove the bad, right? The bad substance that needs to get out of our, right? I am surgical. I cut. My words will cut to bless you, to heal you, to make you better. People who don't want to love you enough, they will mask it. And when they deliver this message, you don't even get what they're saying. They are not transformed. Jesus, as a baby, was preserved. There are some ideas you must preserve. There are some destinies, dreams, hopes you must preserve. That's wisdom. Jesus could have said, oh, I have angels. God could have said, you have angels, I'll send angels. No, God doesn't abuse the laws, spiritual laws he has put in place. Listen, if you put a baby in the wrong hands, A baby is a baby. God doesn't show, God doesn't exact his own will to supersede his own the rules unless somebody gives permission, unless extreme cases, right? But those who are foolish would say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So you start exposing yourself to toxicity. You're in the wrong place talking to the wrong people about big dreams. And you don't know there's a pharaoh that will be intimidated by your power or by your potential. You see, Moses' time, the potential of Moses is what that pharaoh came after. A baby, a child. The pharaoh wiped. You don't know that's narcissism. There's some people, when they sniff success, sniff your greatness, and you enter their zone, they use their own will. Remember, I talked about two extremes. There are some people who use their own will to destroy everything in their path. We've seen it in the Bible. But it's still happening today. So being deliberate is also to make sure you're not putting yourself, you're not crossing paths, that you're not making them mentors, that you're not going to places and churches and job places, and you're not working for employers, and you're not submitting yourself to people who look at you and send you opposite. Anyway, that's for somebody. That's for somebody. Some people will use their will to belittle you, make you feel small. But mentors, the right mentors, will inspire you, encourage you, help you unleash more greatness. You leave their presence, you feel more powerful, more enlightened. You feel like, okay, you can take another step. Hope is given birth in your heart. It's a form of energy, right? Because we feed each other, right? So seek places that will nurture you, that will nurture and speak to the side of you that is powerful, not the side of you that was weak. You see, there are some people who they will talk about all your weaknesses and it depresses you. There are some voices that only know you from what you cannot do. And they talk about that all day. It doesn't empower you, it just depletes you further. But trust me, for me, my own full goal is to empower you. Talk about your strengths, your capacity, your willpower, your energy, that's the nurturing. That's the nurturing. You feed that side of, right? We have to feed that side of us. Because as long as you are saying when you can't do this, you don't do that, listen, that stuff, if you keep feeding it, it just grows, it amplifies. Whatever side you feed amplifies, and it will create your reality every day. The same thoughts you had yesterday, you had to, right? You bring it into today. You don't call it out, you don't check it. You experience today just like yesterday. You drag those same thoughts again into tomorrow. A year goes by, nothing changes. That's why I always say, check your relationship with your past. You are dragging it everywhere. It's in you in form of memories. And so if you don't confront some memories and retell a new story, there are some stories that bog people down. Part of this unleashing your willpower is stop feeling sorry for yourself. If people make you feel sorry, this is why you need a coach. Okay. I think I caught all the comments. If I missed any, just maybe after this session I'll come online. But let me just wrap it there. It's an hour gone by. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to end the mainstream, and then if other people want to ask more questions, we'll continue behind the scenes. But I think this is a good place to just wrap this up for now. Check out toyinyumesiri.com to learn more about me, and then join toyinyumesiri.academy if you want to become my student, if you want to become my client, if you want me to coach you, guide you into success and wealth creation and business development, I'll be happy and honored to do just that. God bless you.